I told your mama I'd get you home, but I didn't tell her I had no car. I saw a lion, he was standing alone, with a tadpole in a jar. Very strange, that. There aren't no, well, there isn't any tadpoles at the moment, but there's a lot of frog spawn in the big pond. I've been having a visit from herons. Probably just one. But I see a big one and a small one. Maybe it's just one's further away when I see it, and one's closer. The bigger one's closer. So, well, it wasn't me that had visitors. It was Mungo. I think it was two lassies who came round to see Mungo, Steph and Chris. Sound like girls' names to me. So, I'm sure he was very upset that he'd missed you, because I haven't seen you for a long time. He hadn't seen you for a long time. Anyway, there'll be other times, I'm sure. Now, well, it's a long time ago now in my life, but I was married once. My father-in-law, he was a very interesting man. He reminded me of Aqualung from the cover of the same titled album, Aqualung, by Jethro Tull. But I'm sure he wasn't anything like that character. But he was a really, really good bloke, and his job was, well, he was a cartographer, but he was hands-on. He used to go and maintain all the trig points. I think he used to build more of them. I probably did, but he used to maintain them, and his job involved being working for 7 days a week and having 3 months off. So he would work 9 months flat out, or every day. I don't think flat out was really in his vocabulary. And mind you, I only knew him as an older fella. And then he would have 3 months off. Obviously, the 3 months that were probably the worst months for working outside. Maybe December, January, February. I'm just guessing, but you know, that makes sense. Anyway, he tried his best to educate me in what he actually did. Of course, I was much younger then, and you know, kind of a bit of a well, I had my own life to get on with, you know. But I did really find it interesting when he spoke about his working life, and he did all the islands and highlands. That was his thing. In Scotland, of course, and that is why I lived in Orkney for some time, because he inspired me to go there. However, there's a trig point that's just about a couple of miles away from where I am right now, where I live. And was it yesterday? Yeah. Yesterday it was a bit of a shitty morning, but in the afternoon the sun got out, and so did I. And I walked up to the trig point with my camera, and I just thought, you can see the sea kind of, I wouldn't say it was 180 degrees of the sea from that trig point, but it must be it's well over 90 degrees anyway. Like I said, up there. I really should measure the degrees, take a protractor, and see how far around I can see the sea. But it wasn't a particularly good day. Down here, it was a bit breezy, but it was nothing like when you get up top there. It's the highest point, obviously, because that's where the built trig points for some distance. And I just thought I'd take my camera and see when the camera is level, that the center of the lens would be C. That's what I wanted to. Well, I just wanted to see that. So that's what I did. I've made a little film, and because the wind was so bad, I've narrated over the top of it. It's just some, garbled bollocks, but it kind of describes what you're looking at. But unfortunately, through the camera, you can't really see the sea. So there you go. Now, I did take a tube, a plastic waste pipe with me, and it was a 1.25 inch. But when I actually got there, I realised it was bent because I rolled it on the top of the flat surface on the trig point. So I didn't use it because it couldn't have showed you a well, it was unscientific, shall we say. Now then, but all I wanted to kind of get through to people like the Craig was that when you're on top of a sphere, you don't look down. You look, well, I leveled the camera and the camera wasn't looking, you look where the hell you like, but you are not looking down if the camera is level. So therefore, the division in the sky and the sea, or in this case, the sky, a little bit of sea, and then the land, the horizon is in the middle of the lens. Even on a hazy day like it was yesterday, it's pissing down right now. It's snowing even, but it's not really line of snow. So, the Craig, you're a moron. And anybody else, and I've seen loads of people, and I don't know why they do it. I suppose it's just to satisfy the globe bollocks. But they will draw where their view is, and then the bulge of the globe, and then the target, if you like. There is no bulge of the globe. The globe's bollocks. There is no globe. There is no bulge. Especially over water, for fuck's sake. It's level. And when I say level, a level line is a straight line, no matter where you look at it from. It is a straight line. No, it doesn't. How can a level line curve around the earth? Morons. So that's all I really wanted to do with this one. With the trig point. However, I will when it's clearer, and I have to go up there to see it's clear because I can't see the sea quite from here. And okay, I've got the coordinates as well. So I'm 320 meters up when I'm at the trig point. 320 meters, and I'm going to mix imperial and metric because I've just looked at the OS map, and when I'm there at that trig point, looking at Whitby, it is 11 miles, approximately 11 miles. Now, it's a very reasonable approximation because I did it with a ruler and marked it off on the OS map again. But I can't, I wouldn't say it was definitely exactly 11 miles, but there you have it. So, what you shouldn't be able to see if you're on a ball is the sea at all, because it would be well down from the, just think about it. If you're on top of the ball, it curves away in all directions equally if you're on the sea. But because I was on land, still it doesn't really make a great deal of distance at those distances, to the sea. So if it's 11 miles to the sea that way, it would be at least 11 miles to the sea in the other directions I was looking in as I swung the camera around. And when I swung the camera around, on top of the trig point is a brass circle. It almost makes a circle, and there are 3 channels that run off that, and that's for the instrument to be set on, so they can triangulate between the trig points and get real measurements, not pretend ones. They can actually do real measurements with this this method, and that's how we know distances on land. But we don't know distances on the sea unless we can see other bits of land. But that's why the continents, who knows? And it's nautical miles, isn't it? Not miles. So it's just another little thing they drop in there to mess with you. So I hope you get something from this. And I'm just saying, you can do this yourself. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm just saying, go out and do your own experiments. I'll use that word, even though I saw Globebusters. What a shower of shite they are, really, honestly. It's all just playing to the gallery, people. It's not, Nathan Oakley is big buddies with Bob, I'm sure, I may be wrong, but that's the way I saw it. Let's put on a bit of an act and make some drama, shall we? Anyway, I'll put the video of what I did after this. I'll have forgotten loads of things that I should have said, but there you go. And maybe Cousin Mongo after that. We'll see. All right, ta-ra. Right, looking kind of at Whitby, and I will zoom in so you get a clearer look, so you can see exactly what the sea looks like a little bit closer up. There you go. But it's very hazy, so it's not, well, it's not ideal, but I just was walking about and I thought I'd do it. Took the camera with me, and so as I'm going swinging to the left, you can still see the sea. I know it's not very clear. It's much more clear to the naked eye, and there, I'll just go right again. So in the middle of the frame now, you can see sea just over. Well, just a grouse just flew just by that. So I'm swinging back now. I should have measured the degrees on the trig point. I will probably do this again, but with less wind, more time to actually do it, because it doesn't look bad, but it was really blustery, very bad. I couldn't sort of control anything finally. But I think this is quite good. I'm just looking at Fylingdale's early warning station now, but I just abandon it because it's too windy, and that's why I've edited the sound. He's getting to be a fat bastard. Trev, my cousin. What a fat bastard. Really baggy, this shirt, like. I know now some of you might have heard my cousin Trev, that ginger bastard. Well, I say ginger, the bit he's got left, and that's grey. But he still thinks he's like fucking 20 or something.
clothes he wears, never grows up. His head, in his head, either. He thinks he's like a singer and that. He can't fucking sing. He's shit. Anyway, he thinks the Earth's flat. What a fucking idiot. And you might have heard him say that our family are all fair, but he's fucking lying. There's only him, really. I think he was Milkman, you know. We're all dark. And mine's curly. My hair's curly because I ate a lot of burnt toast when I was a young lad. I think I liked it like that. I can't remember. I remember a lot of fires. Fire. I have memories of fires and like things that won't leave me alone. But I'm alright. I like me telly. I don't really much care for internet. I like me telly. Sport. I like sport. I like greyhound racing, horse racing, pigeon racing, car racing, motorbike racing. I like racing. I do like racing, I must say. Yeah, racing. Any type where something has to go faster than something else. I like that. I think that's it's exciting. You know, cricket, what the fuck's that about? Nothing happens. It goes on for fucking weeks. It's shit. There should be like should just bloody plant vegetables or something, you know, in all cricket grounds around the world. Feed people. You know, I'm into that, feeding poor people. Giving them soup and that. I've never done it, but I'm glad that people do. You know, people with more time, more spare time than me. I have to watch a lot of telly. That's what takes up most of my time, watching my TV. Somebody came and fit another smart meter today. In my electric meter. Smart. Now that nobody has to come in house. Nobody. I've got them all now. Got them all. All covered. Oh, you know, I'll have to get some new glasses. They don't fit me that well, these. You know, they're just cheap ones, you know. In fact, I didn't even pay for them when I think about it. I think somebody gave me them. Said, "Can you see any better through these?" I said, "Oh, I can, like." So, he gave me them. Anyway. Oh, I haven't said what I come on to say. You know, what I actually came here tonight to say. I have to go home now. You know, he has no idea what I put myself through just to, you know, make him look better. You know, because I fucking have no idea who the fuck would subscribe to this moron. Fucking flat earther. Fucking hell. Fucking idiot.